Hello there, it's Mr. Logue. In this video we're going to be looking at subtracting fractions that have different denominators. Like this example where we have 3/10 subtract 1/20. We have different denominators. Let's go through our steps to success for solving this type of calculation. Step 1. Find a common denominator. You can do this either by multiplying the two denominators together or multiplying one of the denominators by something so that it is the same as the other denominator. Step 2, whatever you do to a denominator, you must also do the same to its numerator. Step 3, subtract the numerator. And step 4 is optional. If you have been asked to, you should then simplify the fraction. Let's go through those steps with this calculation. 3/10 subtract 1/20. We have different denominators at the moment. So we can find a common denominator by multiplying them together, or we could multiply one of them by something to make it the same as the other. And you're probably already spotting that if we multiply 10 by 2, we will get 20. So let's multiply 10 by 2 to get 20. And what we do to the denominator, we must also do to the top. So we multiplied 10 by 2 to get 20. We must multiply 3 by 2. So that becomes 6. Now our equation reads 6/20 subtract 1/20. The next step, we just subtract the numerator. 6 subtract 1 is 5. We do not subtract the denominator. 5/20. If we've been asked to simplify the fraction, we can then show that in its simplest form. To do that, we can divide the denominator by the numerator. How many 5s in 20? There are 4. Here's another example for us to try. We have 3/4 subtract 3/8. Let's do step 1. We must find a common denominator. We can multiply them together to find a common denominator, but we can also maybe multiply just one of them to make it the same as the other. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. If we've multiplied 4 by 2 to make 8, we must also multiply 3 by 2, which makes 6. Now our equation reads 6/8 subtract 3/8. We just subtract the numerator. 6 subtract 3 is 3. We do not subtract the denominator. 3/4 subtract 3/8 is 3/8. Here's one more example. We have 5/12 subtract 1/3. Step 1 is to find the common denominator. We could multiply them together, but we could also just multiply one so that it is the same as the other. Well, if we multiply 3 by 4, we would get 12. What we do to the bottom, we must do to the top. 3 times 4 was 12, so 1 times 4 is 4. Our equation now reads 5/12 subtract 4/12. Let's subtract the numerator. 5 subtract 4 is 1. We do not subtract the denominator. 5/12 subtract 1/3 is 1/12. Here are 3 calculations which are similar for you to practice with. 7/10 subtract 3/20, 3/4 subtract 1/8, and 11/12 subtract 2/3. Pause the video now, have a go at solving them, and then unpause to check your answers. Here come the answers. 7/10 subtract 3/20 is 11/20. 3/4 subtract 1/8 is 5/8. 11/12 subtract 2/3 is 3/12, or in its simplest form, 1/4. Let's go through those steps to success one last time. To subtract a fraction which has a different denominator, we must first find a common denominator. You can do this either by multiplying the two denominators together or multiplying one of the denominators by something so that it is the same as the other. After that, you need to make sure that whatever you've done to the denominator, you do to the numerator. You can now subtract the numerator. If you've been asked to, you can simplify the fraction at that point. That's how you subtract fractions that have different denominators. Bye for now.